Okay, so the original recipe calls for vanilla extract, but I like to use vanilla beans because it just gives it a nice... It is time to get cooking. I'm Jacqui Saldaña, and I've been creating simple and delicious recipes on my website for more than 10 years with my family. And now I'm inviting you into my kitchen to come cook along with me while I show you how to easily create weeknight dinners, decadent desserts, and everything tasty in between. I keep it real, and most importantly, I keep it simple. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss out on our weekly videos. And now, let's see what we're making today. Hello everyone. Today we're making my no-bake vanilla bean cheesecake. It is so simple. It's a handful of ingredients. It comes together very fast. It's smooth, it's decadent. What happened? You heard cheesecake? Or you just want graham crackers? Okay.
Cheesecake.
It's really fast. I'm gonna show you how to put it together. So let's get into it. So you're gonna need about 2 packages of graham crackers. And if you don't have a food processor, that's totally okay. You can actually put them in a zip top bag and give it a good bang until it comes to like a sand texture. All right, let's add in the rest of the graham crackers. So actually a lot of graham cracker crust recipes calls for a little bit of sugar, but I skipped the sugar. I just do graham crackers and melted butter. It gives it the perfect taste to me. It's nice and sweet, and it pairs well with the cheesecake. That way it's not overly sweet. So we have 11 tablespoons of melted butter, and we're just gonna slowly stream in the melted butter while the food processor is going. This is perfect. If you want to take a look here, kind of resembles wet sand, but when you push it together, let's see, when you hold it together, it holds its shape. So what I have here is a 9-inch springform pan, and the springform pan means that you can detach it like this and lift it out perfectly. It's ideal when you're using things like graham cracker crust, just so it holds everything in place. My rule of thumb is always to line your cake pans with parchment paper. That way it ensures that your cake, your cheesecake, whatever you're baking in here or making in here will slip right out of the pan. All right, so I'm gonna dump this all in here and make sure there's no clumps going on. I am basically creating a little wall here. So I'm gonna make a wall of graham cracker crust, go all the way around, and I'm gonna use the cup to help me create that. And what this is gonna do is make a really yummy graham cracker crust that not only is on the bottom of your cheesecake, but also comes up and around your cheesecake. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to put our crust in the freezer while we make our cream cheese base so it gets nice and cold. This cheesecake only has a handful of ingredients. It's a riff off of this no-bake cheesecake my mom used to make when we were kids, and my brother actually always requested it, and I think it's delicious. It's very smooth, it's decadent, and it calls for vanilla extract, but I like to use vanilla beans because it gives it a nice, deep, rich vanilla flavor, and it just perfumes the whole cheesecake with vanilla, and I love it. I love it so much. And usually when recipes call for just a handful of ingredients, I try to use the best of the best so it tastes the best it can be. So we have 16 ounces of cream cheese that is at room temperature. It's very important to use room temperature cream cheese because that way when it whips, it's gonna whip nice and smooth. You're not gonna get any lumps. If you used cold cream cheese or cream cheese that wasn't fully at room temperature, you would risk having lumps in your cheesecake, and then that wouldn't be ideal because then you would get bites of cream cheese versus a smooth, decadent bite of cheesecake. And I'm gonna put it in here and then just kind of give it a good whip. The cream cheese is nice and smooth. I'm just gonna pull it, use my spatula and scrape down the sides. What's gonna make this nice and sweet and exceptionally smooth and decadent is sweetened condensed milk. So while I have my mixer on low, I'm gonna slowly stream in. So like I said, we're using vanilla beans here, but of course, if you don't have vanilla beans, you can always use vanilla extract. Vanilla beans are pretty pricey, so let's see. This is half of a vanilla bean, this is a whole one. And for this recipe, I only use half. And then inside this vanilla bean pod are thousands of little tiny vanilla bean specks, and that's where all the yummy flavor is. So I'm gonna take a small paring knife and just run my knife down the center of the vanilla pod. I'm gonna use my fingers here to just kind of open it up. And I'm going to gently drag it down the vanilla bean pod. And what's gonna come on the tip of your knife, these are thousands of little vanilla bean specks, and that is what we're gonna put right in here. Once you're done with this pod, you can toss this in maple syrup, you can put it in simple syrup, you can do a ton of stuff with this because even though I'm trying my best to scrape out every last vanilla bean, there are going to still be little vanilla bean pods in here that will flavor anything you put this vanilla bean pod into. You're gonna see it's gonna be I am ready. All right, so this looks absolutely perfect. The vanilla beans are just throughout the entire cheesecake here. So we have our cold graham cracker crust straight from the freezer. And I'm gonna pour our Decadent cheesecake right into the center. And now the key is that you're going to let this chill. So here it is. I like to leave it in there for 6. That's why I made it nice and early in the morning. And the key here is that you're not gonna wanna cover it, okay? So when you put it in the fridge, you're just gonna put it in the fridge as is. And what's gonna happen to the top is it's gonna form like a nice smooth coating, and that's gonna help keep everything in place. So this cheesecake is very smooth. It's not going to fully firm up, but it's absolutely delicious. And once it's ready, I'll show you what it looks like when we cut into it. All right, so I have my cheesecake here. It has been firming up in the fridge overnight. I will be honest with you that my husband and I have actually already dug into it, but that's okay because you'll be able to see just how delicious this is. So I'm gonna take it out of the pan. And this is exactly why you put the parchment paper on, so you can easily slide it off of the pan here. So we actually sliced into it, and it is perfect. The key here is when you put it in the fridge, you wanna leave it uncovered. So that way it's gonna form a nice thin coating on the top, and that's gonna help it set perfect. So I'm gonna cut into it right here. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I get to eat another slice right now. So I'm just gonna eat it right off the cake plate here because why the heck not? It is awesome, look at that. It's easy, it's only a handful of ingredients. Smooth, decadent. You could even top this with fresh fruit, chocolate drizzle, salted caramel drizzle, but it's actually perfect on its own. And remember, we used vanilla beans in here, so it's gonna be nice and fragrant and vanilla-y, if that's a word. But you can also use vanilla extract. You can use lemon or lime extract, lime juice, add some lime zest, and you've got yourself a lime cheesecake. But I'm a purist, I love the vanilla. And when I first posted this on my website, a handful of you wrote me saying that, Jacqui, my cheesecake never set. And it's because I didn't specify that you have to uncover it. You have to leave it uncovered. Because you really want it, if you cover it, it won't form this coating on the top that'll help it set. And then I really want you guys to know that you have to let it sit in the fridge for at least 6 hours, preferably overnight, because then you're gonna get this delicious texture. So this cheesecake is absolutely delicious. It's one of my favorites, obviously. It's so good that you'll probably make 2, I'm hoping. I'm obsessed with it. I love it. I hope you'll love it. I hope you'll try it. The recipe is on babyboybakery.com. And yeah, I'm just gonna be here in cheesecake heaven. Bye, you guys.